Welcome Pisces Aries to your mid-month reading for July. Hope you friends are doing great out there. Welcome back all subscribers and anyone new to my channel. Welcome, welcome. If your friends like this, please like and subscribe. Okay, friends, let's get into your energy and see what's going on over here with what you are thinking, feeling, or the energy surrounding you. Okay, Pisces Aries. Best message for Pisces Aries, please. Best message for Pisces Aries. Reflection. Might even be having a little bit of a withdrawal, keeping yourself kind of out of the limelight at this time. Kind of, maybe even kind of backing yourself into kind of the shadows, as we say, right? Kind of keeping yourself locked away. Why? Because, and that doesn't mean you actually have to be locked away in a bedroom. It just means maybe you're a little silent, maybe a little withdrawn, a little reclusive. Because you're thinking about something. You are looking deep into your lantern right now, trying to think of something important. Okay. And clarifying on the Hermit. And if that's not you, it could be somebody around you. Because I feel like it could be two or, you know, one or the other. Maybe you feel that somebody around you is very reclusive and withdrawn. Because, you know, definitely feeling either could be you or a Virgo that you are dealing with, or a Cancer or a Pisces. It really just, those are the three that are really popping out at me right now. Okay. It's because of a disruption. Causing a disruption. Maybe they're causing a disruption because they are so reclusive. Withdrawn. Something went awry over here. And then, like I said, for others of you, it's you who has gone silent because of this disruption. So take it how it resonates, because like I said, I do feel two energies over here. The only difference between the two energies, though, I want to tell you real fast, is that it feels like if it's your person, they're not really 100% reflecting on the situation. They're just more kind of cold and withdrawn and kind of pissed off about the situation. And if it's you, I really do feel like you are reflecting upon the situation because of that Pisces in you. So it's like kind of made you go under the water into a Pisces mode to where you're reflecting upon the situation. Maybe it's because you're both doing the same thing. Maybe you're both kind of cold shouldering each other. Maybe that's why I'm picking up both as well. Okay. Feels like the love begins and the present is upside down. This is not causing the love where it should be in the recent past. Transformation. Oh. Okay. And in the near future, you have the material, spiritual prosperities, but I'm kind of getting this already. I kind of see what's going on. Now, this happens. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. I'm not going to say anything until actually I see it, but I do feel it. And, well, what I kind of feel over here, we'll just say it, you know, but it could be. It feels like you transformed. You had a spiritual growth. They couldn't keep up, and it caused a disruption. So it made you guys kind of separate a little. And this does happen with transformations. I've had it happen in my own relationship. Mind you, I've been married 27 years, but it has happened. It's like you're a tree. Okay, let's just, you know, there's like a tree. You grow a branch and it just keeps going up and up and up because you're growing, and they just sit over here as a little stub. You want them to understand things that you're understanding. You want them to grow with you, and they don't. And then that causes disruption. Why? Because they're not seeing and perceiving things in a higher form like, you know, like you are. So now you have to wait for them to grow with you, or, you know, they have to catch up. That's the problem. They have to catch up to you. And when they don't catch up to you, it can cause a disruption because they don't see things from this higher side of growth. They're seeing it from this, what we would consider like just say a lower standpoint of, you know, it could be immaturity, you need to grow up. It depends on how it is, right? Whatever the transformation was. Could be a spiritual transformation as well. You could say, well, I've learned this, and they're like, that's, you know, and they don't get it. Take it how it resonates, but that's exactly what it looks like. You have had a huge transformation and they did not grow with you. It causes disruption. They don't know how to, no, it could be dealing with a Gemini. They don't know. Okay, it's probably, it could be another earth sign too. It could be that Virgo as well. Maybe that's why the Virgo is coming up. However it is, they're guilty of anxiety. Or they're guilty of keeping you in anxiety. You could also be dealing with a Scorpio because of the transformation is the Death card. Or they keep, yeah, it's either they keep themselves in anxiety, they have not grown. They have a lot of worry. It is them. This definitely has something to do with somebody else. And they're guilty of their own anxieties. You're growing. You've had this transformation and all you see is their worry. And, you know, for some of you, maybe it's like, stop worrying so much. Give it to, you know, give it to the universe. Do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? Just examples. That doesn't mean, you know, you can throw it away. But it's something like this, right? Somehow. And they won't stop. So they're feeding negative. Maybe you learned not to feed the negative. And you just see them over here guilty of just feeding negative anxieties. And you're like, that's not happening. And that causes disruption. It causes chaos. It doesn't get you anywhere. And maybe you're trying to, yeah, it's causing drama. And it feels like, you know, stop, you know. And as you're having this beautiful transformation, probably getting out of a lot of the same things, they're not learning. That's really what it looks like. And it does, it causes a disruption. And you've learned to get out of these things. You learn, I was guilty of this. I may have caused drama, unnecessary drama, but I've grown. See, and you're progressing and moving past that. But see, the problem is, what I'm really finding over here is I think that's the problem with a lot of you is you're progressing and moving past them. See, because they're over here all guilty of all this negative stuff. And you're like, no. I've progressed past you in these areas because I don't try not to allow those things to bug me as much. It doesn't mean it doesn't always, you know what I mean? Like you're going to never let you bug you, right? It's just that I don't allow it to, I don't feed it like that. And so as you're progressing, they're kind of sitting still as a stump over here. And so you're going through, you know, towards things that you really want. And it's almost like they're guilty of not following through. This is what gets you stuck. This is what causes this disruption. Could even cause fighting. Love. But it's like you love this person. It could be a Gemini for a lot of you. You love this person a lot and you don't want them to be like this. I do see a lot of deep emotions for this person, but it is causing a lot of disruption within the relationship itself. And so it might even feel like you're progressing past the relationship, one that you want, one that you care about. Yeah, they're not moving towards, they're just crutching everything. That's really what it feels like, you guys. It's like they're crutching everything. Everything is falling apart. Everything is trash. And you're saying, no, that's not the way it is. Listen, but you can't. So it almost makes you feel like you're stuck inside of a wall and, you know, they can't hear you because they put up this wall. So you have a block wall in front of you and maybe you're trying to get them to understand something and they're just not listening. So therefore, here's where the Hermit comes in. Cold, withdrawn. They may be a little cold to you because they're not listening. Maybe you feel like they're just a little cold because they just don't listen. And maybe it's not even that, you know. But however it is, it feels like you are withdrawn. You're just like, okay, fine. And this is not where the love begins. You, it feels like, just want to get back to where the love begins. But you want them. Yeah, you're kind of, there's the stuck feeling again. Stuck meditating in your, and this is a Pisces card, stuck, you know. You are stuck meditating under the water. They put you in an underwater world because where are you going to go? You have to think about how you're going to get back to how the love begins. How am I going to make them understand that what they're doing is wrong, whatever it is? How am I going to get them to grow? How am I going to make them understand? Whatever your situation is, take it how it resonates. But there's definitely some kind of learning over here that they're not learning, and they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Just negative. I just feel like there's so much negative. Like, stop being so negative. Yeah, you want to get past this. You're still feeling a little hopeful for this. And I'm going to say a little because I don't see a lot. And it is, once again, Gemini. So somebody is definitely dealing with a Gemini. Not everybody. But you don't see them traveling towards you. And then somebody else is dealing with an earth sign. But you don't see them traveling towards you. Like, seriously. Capricorn here. That's what I got. But you don't see them. But you're hopeful that they will make a turnaround. It's almost like they're codependent on this kind of like a negative way of thinking. And you just don't want them to be because you've already taken this transformation. You've already done all of this work. You've already transitioned past all of this stuff. They just don't have the realization of what they're doing. So they can be cold and kind of, building a wall around you, don't want to listen to you, because they have no realization of what is really going on. They don't realize how it impacts your relationship. They don't see it. They don't realize that, wow, this negative energy, it could literally keep the chariot from not moving, that it can make the chariot move slower. You know, when you're over here trying to make things work faster, trying to keep this positive outlook. Maybe you're just tired of all the anxiety and the negativity. Plain and simple, right? I mean, that wears and tears on you after a while. Just always hearing negative Nancy over here, right? Just, or negative Ned, right? Like, nothing ever works for me. And it's like, get out of your pity party. Wow. I always say things so self-assured, they just fly right out. You don't even know, right? It's like, where did it come from? It's like, where's that even come from? Okay. It is what it is, though, right, friends? So we have the Knight of Wands. I mean, you know, maybe we do. Maybe we have some pitiful, pity me scenario for some of you, right? You're like, wow, my person really is just always pity party. Nothing works for me. They need to get more passionate about it. And then here comes this Aries within you that's saying, I need you to get passionate. I need you to see things, and you're moving passionate towards them, trying to make them understand. Wow, but it's like right now you're so passionate, but you're not really taking, it feels like it's more like in your head right now. Because remember, you're kind of like, it feels like you're, kind of that like underwater, I'm being reclusive, but I want you to get passionate. And I want to, it feels like when I get out of this, I'm going to be so passionate to tell you what I'm looking for over here in my lantern. But right now, it just feels like all you're doing right now is reflecting about how are you going to make them understand that what they're doing is just not good. Making the world change, wanting them to take a new chapter, wanting them to do things, wanting them to stand tall within the emperor over here, be an emperor, wanting them to get their grounding. Making sure that they understand that, you do love them. I do perceive you as my number one, but I can't do this. That's how I feel. Yeah. So we have to have some kind of compromise. It feels like there's going to be some kind of compromise. And it even feels like it could be coming from the King of Swords himself. Because like I said, somebody's dealing with a Gemini, some kind of air sign. This is an Aquarius card. But it does feel like they are going to come back towards you and want to compromise about this disruption that you're having, this argument, this everybody go into their separate corners over here. And it feels like they do want to come back to try to compromise the situation about this, but they don't feel like you're on their side. Okay. I mean, that's the Aries, so that's you. They don't feel like you're loyal to their feelings. It has to be feelings. Their emotions. Maybe they feel like you're too rough. I don't think the way you think. Something of this nature. So they feel like they need you to be a little more compassionate towards them in the way that they are. So somehow or another, they're going to change this around, guys. They're going to, no matter how you dealt with the situation, they feel like you're not very compassionate to their feelings. That's what it looks like. Material, spiritual prosperity. Okay. So on the material, spiritual prosperities, clarify on the, well, in the near future, there is material, spiritual prosperities over here. So they still haven't grown. So it's all about the spiritual prosperity. This has something to do with growth. Spiritual growth, growing up, maturing, being responsible, something of this nature. And it's just showing that they just don't see it and perceive it the way you're perceiving anything. They're just not. We'll just say they're just not seeing it your way. They're just full of anxiety still. They haven't gotten out of the anxieties. You're still taking control of the situation, seeing new opportunities, seeing things going your way, but they still haven't learned anything. And it's your person again, because they're going to come up as the air sign right now. They just don't see it your way. Okay, well, with the Page of Swords, they just didn't learn anything, and they just can't, because they just, maybe it's one of those, when we do the cards over here, right, the love cards, that religious factor always comes up. Maybe it's like a religious factor. Maybe they can't see it. For some of you who it's a spiritual thing, maybe they can't see it your way because it's a spiritual thing. I mean, if you know your person's an atheist, I'm just going to bring it up because I heard it. So if you know your person's an atheist, they are not going to do this. Okay? They're not going to see it your way because they don't get it. So I do hear for some of you, it's a religious factor. Yeah, they're just not going to see it that way. There's not going to be any success. So the only thing it can say is that since the spiritual prosperity is what it really looks like more than anything. Even if it's on a material thing, you guys take it how it resonates for you, why this is happening, what the transformation is. But this story right here for me is very deep because I do see it from a spiritual factor of somebody having a spiritual growth. It's not for everybody, because there's a lot of other things over here. It could be, you know, it's just mostly growth. Somebody needs to grow up, and you know that. So it's either a spiritual growth thing, or you're dealing with a very immature person and you really want them to mature, okay? Or take responsibilities. They're irresponsible, okay? That's really what's going on. The only thing that I can see in the near future is to save this relationship the way it was, is just be nostalgic. Just either keep it the way it is and allow them to grow at their own timing, allow them to mature at their own timing, because there's really nothing you can do. So with the Six of Cups, it's like either return to the past the way when the love began, or you're just going to have to let it, you know, or you're going to have to do whatever you're going to do. But the best thing is really in the near future, you know, if you really love this person, you're just going to have to let bygones be bygone. That's all I see, right? The past. Because the way you want them to do whatever they're doing is just it's not working. Not with this person. And they think that you're being emotionally mean. So that's the only thing I can see. So let's grab some romance angel cards since we're talking about them anyways. Clarify on the situation, please. Looks like it's just going to be the perfect timing for them when they actually do whatever it is they're going to do. And if it is religious factors, it may never happen, right? Because of what they've learned in the past. I mean, if they're, you know, they've got certain religious values, they're going to stay to that. If they're atheists, they're going to stay to that. However it is, it's not going to work, right? So clarify on this situation. Separation. For some of you, it's going to actually cause a separation because it just feels like it's not going to work for you. There's too much growth, and they're just not doing it. Whether it's a honeymoon, you might have just got married, and everything's kind of turning around. For most of you, you don't have to worry about freeing yourself. They're a soulmate. A lot of you, there's like some kind of wedding. Some of you are married or going to get married anyways. Okay. Clarify. What's that? Some of you are going to separate. Yeah, that's going to be there. So you're going to separate and find new love. Anything else? There we go. What's that? And then some of you just have to trust that the situation will get better. You're going to know the situation more than anything. If you guys know that you can't be with this person, there's going to be separation and new love, which could end up with a wedding over here. For others of you, I just feel like a lot of you are married, and it's just one of those things that happens as we continue to go down the road. You know, we grow as we get older. And there's bumps on the road. So you just have to trust that the situation will fix itself in the end. And then, you know, for a lot of you, some of you others, you know, you're not going to free yourself. It is a soulmate, and you're just going to let bygones be bygones. So take it how it resonates. You know exactly how it's going to work. This person I don't see this person really leaving you. Now remember, it's the cross watcher. It could be the Pisces Aries that's doing this, but I still don't see that, guys. I don't really see that. The only way that it would be separation for the new love is, you know, if you really truly just cannot handle this. Most of it is, you know, you're engaged, or you're newly married, or, you know, you've been together forever, which could show as, you know, married, committed relationship. So it's just, it feels like for a lot of you, it's just a disruption that's just, you know, going to fix itself. And you're just going to have to wait patiently. For a lot of you, you're just going to let go. And when I say let go, that just means let it go. Let it go. Slow and low. Get the Beastie Boys out over here, right? Only for the fact that, because it's just one of those things that they will mature as they go. So it's just going to be one of those things, just don't worry about it. Because look, I mean, for a lot of you, look, they already feel like you're not being compassionate towards them, that you're being a little rough on them. And that's just because you're mature. Your transformation and maturity has risen, and they're kind of falling behind as we change. And then for others of you, if it really bugs you that bad, let it go, as in separation. So there's going to be two different kinds of things here. Okay. Okay, because most of you, the situation will improve. Okay, there will be a compromise, and I've seen that over here. They want to compromise. They want to, oops, I'm sorry. I grabbed the wrong card. Excuse me. They want to compromise because they think you're being rough with them, remember? They're thinking about it. They do come back and say, hey, you know, I was thinking about this, and I think you're being a little rough on me. So it's going to depend on you. Well, it always depends on you anyways. Okay, so that was a reading for you, my friends. Like I said, for a lot of you, it's going to be whether or not you want to compromise. I think that's the biggest card right here of the whole deck, is right here. It's up to you. Do you want to compromise? Do you want to let it go in this way? Or do you, let it go and trust that it'll work itself out for the situation to improve? Or are you done and say, I just can't do that. I'm going to have to go find new love. Okay? And until next time, my friends, peace and love. Bye-bye.